everyone, my name is Linnea Stewart and I'm the Tree Planting and Stewardship Coordinator here at the Piedmont Environmental Council. We're really excited that you signed up for a volunteer slot to come out and plant trees with us, and we just wanted to give a little bit of a demonstration on what to expect the day of, what the tree planting process looks like, and the tools that we use. So what we have to start off with before we can get the trees in the ground is actually just getting the ground ready. We use a fire rake to clear about a foot by foot square where you're going to put the tree. This can be easier in some areas than others. Sometimes the ground is really soft, or there are some areas where it's a little bit rockier and it may take a little bit more effort, but you use the rake, you just clear as much of the grass and other vegetation out of the way as you can to get down to bare soil. This can help reduce competition within the tree tube, especially since our trees are pretty small, and if we're planting in the spring, they're bare root trees that are really just getting established, so we want to minimize the amount of competition in them as much as possible. The next step is actually digging the hole. The trees that we plant in the fall are larger than the ones we plant in the spring. They need to be a little bit better established before the winter. We call them tubelings. Those root systems will be a little bit larger, and so the hole that you dig, especially in the fall, may end up having to be larger than one you may use for a bare root tree. So the next step is actually putting the tree into the ground. So again, you want to put the roots in, make sure that they're not too bunched or that it's sitting too deep. You can adjust the size of the hole as necessary. If you're a little bit stuck or you hit rocks, it can be better to err on the side of planting the tree a little bit higher than having it be too much under the ground. And so you'll put your roots in and then just push the soil back in. It doesn't need to be really compact, but you want to make sure that the tree is stable, that it's sitting up at just about the right height, and then you will be good to move to the next step, which is putting the tree tube around the tree. When you are putting your tree tube on, the tree tube has two sides. The top end has kind of a curl, and that is to help funnel water in and also to allow more sunlight to enter the tube. And then the side of the tube that will go actually on the ground is flat. You put the tube over top of your tree and then kind of turn it a little bit so that the flat part of the tube goes down into the soil a little bit. That can help keep pests out of the root system. The tube has zip ties. It has two zip ties that will eventually put the stake through, and so you want to start to orient the tube so those zip ties are uphill or upstream, depending on what the property looks like. The next to last step is putting the stake through the zip ties on the tree tube. Like I said, you'll want that stake either uphill or upstream. That can just help provide a little bit more stabilization. Once you get the stake oriented in the correct direction, you then will use our mallet and hammer it down. You want to leave, a couple of inches of the stake above the zip tie, and then you will tighten up the zip ties and make sure that it all feels stable. And the final step that we have is putting the bird netting over top of the very top of the tree tube. You basically just stretch it out, put it over the top of the tube, make sure that there's some of the netting that is left on top, and the intention is that it can help keep birds from getting into the tubes and not being able to get out. So that should hopefully give you a good demonstration of how to plant a tree, and we're really grateful that you signed up to volunteer with us, and we're excited to see you out on the property.